Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 18 of season 2 of Tampo. I definitely had to look at the number because I definitely forgot what episode this was. I'm your damn the evening HT Paladin. Let's go sit around and say hi to our players. Let's go to Lucia. Hi, Lucia.
Hi, I'm Lucia. I'm going to be playing Gaita, the Black River Barbarian, who at this moment is very confused. I'm excited. Latia.
Hi, I'm Latia. I'm also excited and confused. I'm playing Pilar, the Mangangaya Ranger, who is also confused and not excited, but very confused. Josh. I forgot your name.
Hi, that's fine. I don't need a name. My name is Josh, though, if you do want to know it. I played the Gold Gnome Babylon. He's pretty cool. He's a lovable old man, and his little bird friend. We like Huddy here. And I guess I'll pass it to Mackenzie.
Oh, hello. I'm here too. Hello, I'm Mackenzie. I'm guesting. I am an associate game designer at Wizards of the Coast, but before that, I was the lead writer for the Islands of Sina Una, which we are playing in today. And for this game, I will be playing as the Lakan ang Kagilaran, Keeper of the Horizon.
All right. And CB is unfortunately at the last minute unable to be with us, but they will be with us in spirit. They are in for a doozy when they come back.
Yeah.
Just an absolute doozy when they return.
I'm here to cause chaos.
But until that time happens, I do believe we have some sponsors to mention and thank.
Yeah, we do. So as y'all know, we like Hit Point Press here. They sponsor us. They're pretty cool. And so for today's little ad shindig for Hit Point Press, I have decided that I'm going to pull a random D&D themed Magic the Gathering card and talk about how Hit Point Press products are related to this somehow, because this is what we call impressionistic art. And I think that's the best way to advertise for something. So
is it?
Yeah. So I have just drawn at random this Baleful Beholder card, which is pretty cool because if you check out the Big Bad series on the Hit Point Press store, you can they've got a beholder on there and a bunch of other really cool villains that are super exciting. You should check that out. I've also just picked up the Inspiring Bard card, and this reminds me a little bit of the Heckna campaign setting, which you can get on the Hit Point Press store, because of course bards are entertainers, and that takes place at like a circus or a carnival. It's all related. It definitely makes sense. And finally, I've just drawn the True Polymorph card, which reminds me of the fact that you can get animated spell effect cards from the deck of many in the Hit Point Press store. On top of all of those things, I would just like to remind y'all that you can get the Islands of Sina Una in the Hit Point Press store. If you think this campaign setting is awesome, if you've had fun watching this campaign with us, you should check out the book. It is large. It is in charge. Go buy it from the Hit Point Press store. And if you use the affiliate link in chat, you can get a discount. Anyways, go get the book. It's great. So thank you, Hit Point Press, for sponsoring this segment, which has been word associations with Josh. Additionally, I would like to thank the wonderful folks from Arcane Spectacles. They create awesome, very cool tabletop gaming accessories, like this spell tracker that I'm holding here for an excessively long time on the screen, or dice vaults, and a variety of very cool things. They come in wood like this one. They come in plastic and resin. They've got lots of cool designs, lots of cool colors. You can mix and match and get whatever the heck you want. Go do the thing. Arcane Spectacles. They're so cool. It's magical. Additionally, I would like to thank.
Actually, can I do the Idol Champions one?
Would you like to do that right now, Latia?
Sure.
I wonder
Hey, everybody
why.
out there. Do you like murder and do you like birds?
Yes. Also, yes.
Yes.
Because if you like murder and you like birds, then you should know that you have 3 days left to get the ultimate murder bird, Dahani, in Idol Champions. Who is Dahani, you might ask? Well, she's me. She's not really me. I'm not a bird, but I play her. Idol Champions is an idol game that you can play on just about any freaking system or phone. Where it takes iconic characters from the D&D universe, from the Forgotten Realms, and from super cool streams like Rivals of Waterdeep, and you can collect them and put them in your formations and have them punch the crap out of people. So yeah, you should go download that. They're wonderful people, and I'm in a video game.
I
This
got
video
Dahani
game.
yesterday, and super cool. Love it.
That's all. I've never done an ad on the channel before. It's weird.
How's it feel?
You did a good job.
Weird. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, just let me talk about murder and birds.
Yeah. Hey,
and the
look.
combination of the two.
Two excellent topics that you are an expert on. So, anyways,
We love murder burps.
Is burb murder done by burbs or murder of burbs?
both
Yes.
contextually.
Yeah. Anywho,
There will be a code in chat soon in the near future. It's there already. Oh my God, our producer is so fast. Everyone give a little round of applause to our producer, Big B. And it will be on the overlay here in a second. That's the old one. We'll have a new one in a second.
Have a new one in a second.
Anyways, while Big B is a wizard behind the scenes, I would just like to give a quick thank you to the wonderful team here at RockPunch who lets us do this every week. They are just wonderful folks. And you can check out all of the cool new videos that they put out on YouTube. They've got one every week. And of course, also be sure to join us on Sundays for D4. It's the Forgotten Realms campaign, co-DM'd by Dustin and Devin. They've got a wonderful cast, bunch of great people, and we love supporting them. So little shout out there to RockPunch. And with that, Paladin, I will hand it back to you. The code is in chat and on the overlay now. Bye.
Nice. Hey, look, your character's name is in the code.
Sure is.
It was planned. It was destiny.
It was Lacan all along.
It was Lacan all along.
Anywho, with that all out of the way, let's get into tonight's episode of Tampo.
Yay.
I guess.
So, last time on Tampo, our adventuring group, our players, are you okay right now?
Never.
No.
Not once.
I just got here. What's going on?
Hey, did we get a long rest while we were being teleported out of combat?
No.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
You did not.
Good.
Good to know.
Going from where we were last week, where our adventure group was dealing with a siege upon the city of Tamanduk, they were sent away and find themselves on the branches of a massive, impossibly huge tree. Looking left or right, forward or backwards, they see the horizon and nothing else. Waters as far as the eye can see, meeting a horizon where the sun is setting. Leaves and foliage up above, and no rocks or shores to be found. They find themselves on Minokawa's Eyrie, the tree outside the world. What do the three of you do?
I would like to cry.
That is a
like-
free action.
I would like to look around, confused as to where we are, because this is all very sudden. And I'd also like to look around and go, where? I was really expecting to go back to the battle at some point. I mean, there's a city being attacked right now. I think Apoy probably needs our help. He seemed very incapable.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like the case from where I was standing.
No, he was doing fine, but he needs our help. We should probably find a way to go back and help him.
Okay. Where are we? Can I make a nature check?
Yes.
Cool. I don't use a D20 for that. I don't use a D6 for that. I use a D20. Sick! I have no clue.
What did you get?
I rolled a 1 on both the D20 and my D4.
All right. I do recall us establishing at the end of the last session that we realized we were in Minakawa's area, and then we ended the session.
Yeah, but
Yes.
do we really know that, though? Do
Yeah.
we really?
I would like to roll for it.
Go for it. I'm just gonna give you if you succeed, I'll give you the same information I gave at the start of the episode.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. No, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I was thinking about burning a spell slot. I won't do that. Very good. May I make what type of check may I make for this?
Nature or religion.
Okay, I'll take a nature. That's a 12.
Okay. You're on a rather almost impossibly huge bani tree.
Oh, right. I wanted to know what kind of tree this was.
Bani. B-A-N-I. You know that leaves shouldn't be this large, literally ever. Same for branches and roots. This shouldn't be so big.
This is quite large. It's bigger than it should be.
How do we get back?
I don't know, but this is like unnaturally large. Like, I might even hesitantly use the word supernaturally large. Like, I don't think we're the same place that we were.
Okay.
I hate magic.
Yeah, right now I can agree with that. Paladin, for the sake of the chat, how many C's is this tree's thickness?
See, the first time I said this, I got gift. The first time I said this around a year and some change ago, I got gift. So I'm hesitant to say, if only for the fact that I don't want there to be a second gift of me saying that word.
Robo's not here. You're safe.
Tell me, how thick is the tree trunk, and would you climb it?
This tree is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I'm gonna say a boat of
Thicker than
oatmeal.
a
Thicker than a
bowl
boat of
of
oatmeal. Thicker than a boat of oatmeal.
Okay,
Okay.
good to know.
That's for you, Chad. That's for you and squarely you.
RoboGoblin, when you watch the VOD, please clip that and make a GIF out of it. Thank you.
Love you.
This is my life.
Godspeed, Robo.
So, about how high up off the ground are we? Like, are we on a low branch of this giant tree, or is it certain death if I just decide to take a leap of faith off of it?
You're a little away from the bottom branches of the tree, but at this height, you've never been this high up before in your entire life.
Cool.
You have no idea how high you are.
Cool. Super high, bro.
You have no idea how to gauge this at all. You fucking degenerate.
So under us, is it just like cloud, like nothing? Like is the tree in dirt, or is
The
it
tree
just
is
like...
the tree is in a massive, massive ocean.
Okay.
Oh, there's water beneath us. Nice. Okay, well, do we see anywhere to go?
There are branches and vines going up and down. It's really up to you what to do. Also, actually, to answer your previous question, if you wanted to dive, you could essentially dive into the water below. Just jump right now. The problem is the higher up you jump off to get towards water, the faster you go, the more likely it is you're going to mess up the dive and obliterate your body against the water.
Right. I know how water works.
Yes.
How big are these leaves? If I were to compare them to my person.
The leaves are much larger than you. These leaves, two of them could create the roof of a large home.
So theoretically, if I were to hold either end of one and jump off a la paraglider, do I think that would work?
Ostensibly.
I have a thought, but I don't know if it's a good one.
Casual reminder that I don't leave safety nets for y'all.
So two could make up a roof.
Mm-hmm.
Could one make up like a boat?
It'd be a matter of reinforcing it to function as a boat.
Okay. What do we want to do here?
I'm not certain which way is safer, up or down.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue.
Going up increases our chances of falling further. Going down decreases our chances of falling, but we could still fall.
Increases our chances of drowning, though.
I may have a thing for that. But can I make I remember what the old lady said. So I know where we are, but do I feel like any kind of spirit energy here?
You do. It's massively singular and coming off this tree, but you do get a sense of just the kind of residual spiritual energy you have just from being, in the world at large.
Does it feel hostile or?
It doesn't feel hostile. It doesn't feel malevolent. It just has when someone walks into the room, you just know when that person's in the room.
Mm.
It's like that, but magnified to an unholy degree.
Okay, if I look up, do I see the top of the tree? Can I see a canopy at all?
You see the underside of some branches and some leaves, but the tree goes on above you for, you're guessing, a few miles.
Well, I live on this branch now, y'all. Goodbye.
It's a good place to live. I mean, it seems very spacious. You're not going to get rained on. I mean, look at how big these leaves are. Make a tent out of one.
We could try shouting really loudly.
To who? There's no one to listen. Look around.
I will do that. As soon as Gaita says it, I just
You just full on shout?
Yeah, but it's hey! But louder and bigger.
That's my girl.
You shout, and you hear back, Hello? Hello? Hello?
I wasn't expecting that to work. Where are you?
Here, here, here. Where are you? You. You.
Different here.
Okay. Looking up, you see a small head way up high. Look, peek over a branch, and a hand pops out and waves, and they just kind of stay there. Their arm just fully like lolling over the side.
Hey, there's somebody.
Well, do you want to climb up the tree and go find them?
Yes.
Lead the way, I suppose.
All right. Gonna grab a vine and start to climb.
Okay. Does anybody else follow Pilar?
Yes.
I will follow. But if it is possible, I would like to be in the middle so that if I fall from lack of strength, I do not plummet to my death.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you all begin climbing. Could I get an athletics check from all of you?
Yes, as I start to climb, I would like to look at Gaita very quickly. Be like, if I start to slip, I'm going to shout, please catch me.
I'll do my best.
I also
Thank you.
can't believe this betrayal, Josh. You clipping me saying thicker than a boat of oatmeal.
I would like to note that I did not clip it. I just posted the link.
I'm going to hold you accountable.
I rolled a
I
10
like-
athletics.
Okay. You start climbing, and it is difficult thing. You feel lighter than air. You feel incredibly like you're able to. You're doing wonders, and your hand slips once. And you realize you're not actually climbing. You're just being carried by something slowly upward.
Oh, wow! I thought my knee was doing really well.
You feel something pulling on like the neckline, the back neckline of your vest. And it's just pulling you upwards very slowly.
Oh. Is that someone's hand?
You reach back and you feel tiny little talons.
Is it? Is that Harry?
You don't see Hari. But instead you hear just a of wings.
What bird is doing this?
I don't know. Are you asking somebody?
Yeah, I'll look.
Yes, I will ask somebody.
You look and you see a Hari flapping his little wings as hard as the motors and mechanisms of his body allow.
This bird, for the record, is like the size of a human fist, if even that big. Lifting this little, admittedly, he's a gnome, so he's only like 3 feet tall.
You currently have an effective fly speed of 5 feet.
More importantly, I can interact with Hari on a physical level. As soon as we get up to the top, I'm going to give him a fist bump.
So Gaita and Pilar, what did you get for athletics?
14.
14?
16.
16. The two of you are climbing up, and the sound of the wind and the sound of leaves rustling is interrupted only by the... And you swear you hear a... as Hari sighs and continues to flap its tiny wings.
Love this bird.
After a good 10 minutes of just solid climbing upwards, you make it to a higher up branch. You are placed on the branch as well. And when I say branch, for the record, I mean like a 20-foot wide at the slimmest branch.
Excellent. As soon as I'm put down, I do want to attempt to interact with Hari.
Okay.
Physically, please, and thank you.
Hari, let's go, and resumes its place on your shoulder, and you feel just a little bit of a weight there now.
Oh, I'm gonna scratch his head.
Your finger goes through Hari.
God damn it!
Never mind, CP's not gonna be mad.
That was a good prank.
Hari lifts up and goes over to your hand and like almost headbutts your finger, and you can feel just the softest, smallest little feathers.
Could you always do that?
Hari just goes,
200 years. And this is the first time you've chosen to do this? I thought I knew.
Hari just looks at you and just spins around in place, kind of gesturing to where you are.
Okay, so?
I think it's because of our circumstances that this is a thing.
Well, I'm aware there's something unique about this place. I understand that. At the same time, no indication whatsoever. Did you know that Hari could actually choose to communicate verbally with me if he chose to? But no, never.
You feeling okay about this, Di?
I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm just very stressed right now.
Hari lands back on your shoulder and you feel that same weight.
Cool.
I look back up. Is the person up there still, well, the being up there still waving?
As you look up, you feel a small little thing just hit you square in the forehead.
Ow? What
You're
is it?
welcome.
Okay, I look down. What just hit me in the head?
Someone just like flicked a piece of rice at you.
Just one grain of rice.
Like one grain of rice.
Can I find it? I want to find it.
No, you can see it plainly.
I'll pick it up.
It's just a grain of rice.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Why?
Don't you need to eat? Eat?
There are 3 of us, and 1 grain of rice is not enough.
I threw more. But I missed.
We appreciate it.
What are you doing with your mouth?
I can't
Mouth.
stand you. It'll work. I don't want to play this game anymore. I can't believe you. I'm just trying to play along.
What do the 3 of you do?
I want to keep climbing.
Okay. Gaita, what do you 2 do?
I'll keep climbing, sure. It seems pretty easy right now. May as well. I won't be able to climb trees that much longer, so.
As you try, roll me a survival check.
Everyone.
Anyone who thinks they can succeed at one.
Oh, I'll do that. Fell. It's 21.
21. What'd you get?
18.
Okay, gotcha.
12.
12. Pilar, you start looking at branches, trying to find something, and then you look over at the tree itself, and you see that someone has carved out handholds in the tree itself. And you look at them and you realize they go down as well. So you can use the tree handholds instead of a vine if you want.
Yeah, I point at them and I'm like, that's easier. And vines.
Shall we keep ascending then?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
You all start climbing up the handholds, crossing the vast distance between where you were at near the edge of the tree and here at the actual tree itself, and start climbing. No comment, Latia. I love you. You're great.
Seconded.
And this is remarkably easier. Pilar, your experience with weapons, you're looking at this and someone used an axe for this. Like someone just had an axe on hand and started hacking away at this tree. The depth of each of these grooves, someone would have had to spend weeks at a time on any one distance to create all these grooves. But you continue climbing up and up and up until you reach the next branch. And far on this branch, you see someone has set up a little home. And you see that same person from before still kind of lounging off the side.
Hey.
There's no response.
Are they still looking down?
They're still like face down, just looking over the edge, yeah.
Okay, so then I'm going to go next to this person and I'm going to also look down.
You look down, you're looking down the tree. You see where you came from, both branches you arrived on, but you're not sure what they're looking at.
What are you looking at?
You get a little closer and you hear.
How long did it take us to get up here?
Maybe like 10 minutes, less than.
I would like to poke them.
Maybe hold on to them.
Huh?
Maybe hold on to them while you do it. I suggest to Pilar, who is poking someone, leaning over the edge of a very vast depth off of a tree.
No, you're correct. I will hold them and then I will poke them.
Okay, good.
You poke them immediately. They go, no, And this person rolls over further onto the tree itself, and you see this person for the first time. They have blonde hair and impossibly pale skin. And when they look up at you, they're looking up with these entirely blackened over eyes. There's no color to them. There's no white to them. It's all black.
Do they look familiar?
No, you have never met this Tamawo before.
Yes. They look familiar in that they are a Tamawo, but I have never met this Tamawo before.
Correct.
Okay.
This Tamawo, she looks up and goes, was the rice not enough?
Well, when you throw a bunch of uncooked rice, was it cooked?
It was uncooked.
Okay. When you throw a bunch of uncooked rice down a gigantic tree in not a container, it tends to kind of go everywhere.
I haven't spoken to a mortal in a long time. How much rice do you eat typically? Like 5?
As much as I can, frankly.
Well, I mean, you're small. Maybe like 3, 4?
Grains?
Grains or servings?
What is a serving?
Like a bowl. Like
At least 300 grains.
Are you sure? That seems like a lot.
I'll eat it right now.
Oh, are you hungry?
Always.
Okay. So You need to eat more than 5 grains of rice at a time. Okay. Yeah, more than 5 grains.
I mean, we appreciate you trying to feed us. Like, thanks for that. But why? What? Who are you, if I may ask?
I'm me.
Great. Hello, I am also me.
As I say that, they roll back over so they're like perpendicular to you all, and like puts one hand underneath their head and raises one leg in like an angle position. You know the pose. Just I'm me.
Love this Tomorrow. Why can't all Tomorrow be this eccentric?
How do you get rice out here?
Oh, I haven't ever asked, but I learned it from the other person here, and now I have a bunch of rice. I don't know what to do with it, so I just store it. It's like a hobby.
The other person?
Oh yeah, we don't talk much. She's scary, but I'm not. I'm me.
Where is she at currently?
I don't know. I'm not her friend.
That's fine. What brought you here in the first place? Could I ask that?
Nothing
What
brought me here.
So you've just always been here.
Yeah, this is my tree.
Your tree. Oh, very nice. It's a good tree. It's very large, very spacious.
It's a terrible tree.
Then why do you stay here?
Where else would I go? It's
I don't
my
know.
tree.
You seem very attached to your tree that you hate.
Yeah. Where else would I go?
I
A
don't know.
different tree?
You could try anything.
There's only one tree. You're all very weird looking shark things, so I'm gonna give you a pass this time. But there's only one tree. Okay? Okay, we good? All
There's
right.
sharks here?
Yeah. And eels. At least 2
Do the sharks fly, perchance?
sometimes.
Good to know.
Sometimes they crawl around their hands, and I don't like those ones. They ask for rice.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
I'd love to do that.
What do you want to
What
learn?
I want to learn. She called us shark things.
Yes.
So I'm trying to pin the comparison.
Go for it.
$15.
15. You have no idea what the comparison is for.
Cool.
I'd like to point at Hari. Does this also appear like a shark to you?
Does it appear like a shark to you?
No, this is a bird. This is
I
Hari,
know
my
it's a-
friend.
That's not a bird.
Well, it takes the form of a bird. Yes, true.
Yes,
it's-
thank you.
If it's not a okay, never mind. I was about to ask the question too quickly. Never mind.
Most people typically can't tell the difference between a bird and a spirit who looks like a bird, though.
I
So,
can tell the difference between a spirit and a shark thing. Kind of like how she's a spirit, not a real shark thing.
when you say she, who exactly are you referring to?
Do you not know who I'm referring to?
I would just like to be on the same understanding.
She raises up her left hand and immediately slams her head back to the side and goes, "Oh, okay." And uses the other hand to then point at Pilar.
Pilar is also a spirit, not a shark thing.
Yeah,
Okay. What about me? What do I appear like to you?
like an old man,
Sure. But more a spirit or more shark thing? I'm curious.
like a really old shark thing.
Okay, interesting. We've got. No, just to hear me out. I'll turn a gesture towards Gaita.
You don't
What
have
does
to tell me that I'm an old shark thing. I'm
she
well
appear
aware.
like? A spirit
know
or
a
a shark thing?
Neither. I know a priestess when I see it.
Did you make these markings in the tree here that we used to climb up?
No.
Was that the other?
Yeah. She's like angry all the time.
I would be too if I was out here.
Why?
Well, because there's only one tree.
So? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you come to a place with more than one tree?
Yes.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Do you have a name other than me?
Why would I need one?
Maybe you'd like the sound of it.
Why would I want to make sounds?
Well, you're doing it right now, aren't you?
Yeah, because I have to make them talking to you all.
But normally you don't like to make sounds.
Why would I need to?
Okay, that's fine. I respect that, actually.
Oh.
I hear you.
Oh, the other one called me Nag Isa Napari, so you can call me Pari.
Pari, good to know. I'm sorry, Pilar, you had a little something in your throat there. Were you trying to say something? Oh, I still cannot hear you.
Technical malfunction. Still got nothing. What's great is this can be edited out of the VOD, but no. This will stay in the VOD.
No, cannot hear you.
So what are you all doing here?
Well, I'm going to just give Pilar a nice hearty slap on the back while she's clearly just coughing or something and is struggling to utter words. And I'll turn and look at Gaita. Oh, Pilar, you're back. I must have got something down the wrong pipe. What was that you were saying?
I'm sorry. It appears that my vocal gain had gone down to 0. I was asking if the other person who is here and angry is up or down.
I don't know. Again, we're not like close.
You don't have to be close to know where they are. If there's someone that you would like to avoid, I figured you'd know where they are so that you can avoid them.
I don't move. If she needs me, she can find me.
Does she
But I'm
need you
fine
often?
here. Huh?
Does she need you often?
Sometimes she comes by to get some rice and she gives me some shark or some tilapia in return, but mostly I don't really bother her. Sometimes at night I can hear her screaming.
Screaming?
Yeah.
Like, for fun?
Nah. Like she's like challenging something. You know how when you're angry at something and you just start screaming?
Yes.
Pretend that I do.
It's weird that you've never done this. It's weird that you had never screamed at something or someone in a metaphysical sense that you do not like.
Me? I don't scream at anyone.
Why not?
Because I'm a very small person and my screams don't
Do
carry
you have
that well.
do you have bad lung?
No,
So why don't you scream?
I have no need to.
Weird.
If
Do
she
you know
brings
how?
you, oh no, go ahead, Gaita, please.
Do you know how she gets around?
Yeah.
Which
She
is
climbs. Sometimes I see her just falling really slowly, but usually she climbs.
climbs around in the ocean.
It's called swimming.
Okay. Horizontal climbing.
No, that's still swimming. You'll get there. You'll get
Right.
there.
Well, we have options. If she likes to bring you shark and tilapia, she'll definitely be at the bottom of the tree at some point.
At some
I
point,
don't-
yeah.
Or we could just wait here for her to bring you rice.
Sure.
We could send out a signal.
I don't
Or
have
I could
one.
just scream again.
Oh, don't do that.
Why?
I don't know. You're very close.
I'll just scream in the opposite direction.
No. Listen, if you're hungry, I can feed you. Like, I have plenty of shark. I don't actually eat it.
I mean, if you want to make a meal right now, I wouldn't complain. Do you have all the necessary ingredients and spices? Because otherwise, Gaita will complain about your cooking.
Salt, garlic, rice, shark.
I look at Gaita, narrow my eyes. This
You
might
eat
be
salt?
interesting.
Or no? You have salt.
I have salt. Do you eat salt? Is that how you get to be so old?
Yes.
Okay.
Salt and garlic and participating in an activity called having children ages you very rapidly.
Oh. Could I get an insight check from any of you?
Yeah. Love it. Would love to do that.
I'm actually not bad at insight.
24.
24? Gaita?
That wasn't as good. It was an 18 though.
18? Die?
Yeah.
20.
All of you pass. This Tamao has no frame of reference or idea of what you just referenced, Gaita. She has no idea what you mean by having kids. In the slightest. She's just nodding her head to be polite.
Gaita does not explore that at all. And I would like to try and grab a leaf and begin trying to craft a boat up here from it.
All right,
like
what
this.
check do you want that to be?
Whatever it is that uses my carpentry background.
This is a leaf.
Right.
Which
But
comes
if
from
I
a
have-
tree, which is the
Right.
same material you use for carpentry.
This is a leaf. It has inherently different properties than wood.
Right.
They're
but we're-
pretty
I'm-
similar.
But
I'm
we're
not
on a
quite
tree.
sure. I'm IRL. I'm not quite sure what you did for any form of science class, but the biology of a leaf is so much more different than wood. I need you to know that from me.
It's just like very small wood. It's very narrow.
It
and
is-
flimsy.
It really isn't.
Okay,
Um,
but I'm imagining, right? You make roofs out of leaves. That's
By
part
attaching
of
them to a
carpentry,
support frame.
right? And we're on a tree. So if I can grab some vines and tie it together, I'm sure I could figure it out.
I'm not going to say no, but please roll me a tool check with disadvantage.
Oh, okay. I'll count that one because it landed. So, that's a 5.
One of your lives squarely goes through the leaf and makes a large gouge.
Oh.
As your tools are sharp enough to cut through wood, the leaves this size mean nothing to you. The Tamao rolls over to the hut and climbs up and starts getting different ingredients out.
Okay.
I
Yes.
throw the leaf off the side.
With the large hole in it, it just falls down real fast.
This place sucks.
You presume that without the large gouge, it would just float to the bottom, kind of swaying back and forth. With the large gouge, it's just falling.
Does it make that noise as the wind goes through the hole in it?
Yes, it sounds exactly like a 28-year-old Filipino dude going.
Incredible.
Wow, so specific.
So specific. This is a weird world.
Hold up. What type of tree did you say this was again? I need to go do some science.
A bunny.
Okay. All right.
Guy, can you fly?
Me? Well, technically, yes. Hari, can we fly?
Oh, son of a bitch. Robo is here.
Yes, good.
Hi, Robo. We love you. So while this Tamao starts preparing a meal, what do the rest of you do?
I'm gonna climb some more, actually.
You're gonna climb some more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be back.
All right. I'll be done soon.
I'm not that hungry. If they eat all of it, I'll just eat later.
Okay.
I'll save you a little bowl.
Okay, thanks.
Actually, I just realized something. Could you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Sure. That terrifies me that you want me to do this now.
I don't know why you're terrified. It's just a thing.
15.
15. All right. You begin climbing. What's to look for?
Anything that does not look like a part of the tree.
Everything currently looks like part of the tree, unless it's a creature.
Do I see what creatures do I see?
Well, you see this. You see this half elf. You see this gnome with a bird. You see this tamawo. You see swarms of birds overhead, varying different sizes. Some large eagles, sometimes swarms of little hawks and hummingbirds. It's all just kind of varied.
Okay. Do I see any of them like relatively close to me?
Some, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals and yell.
Okay. Near you, there's a couple of hummingbirds. A little farther away, there is one large eagle, and a little bit away, you can see a bunch of different various hunting birds.
I'd like to petition the eagle, please.
Okay. What do you say?
I say, excuse me, eagle.
The eagle just and turns around and looks at you.
Hello. I am a newcomer to this tree, and could use a little help.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I have to remember that the eagle does not have the facial expressions that you do, because eagles do not have those kind of faces.
It has the eyes.
It does. Well, I am here with two of my friends, and we're looking for an angry person. Have you seen an angry person?
Well, I know plenty of angry people.
Okay, but do you know an angry person who lives on this tree?
Yes.
Do you know where she is?
Well, I know a lot of angry women, but are you just looking for any of them?
How many people live on this tree?
Lots.
I didn't know that. Like I said, we're newcomers to the tree.
Yeah, a couple thousand of us. Sometimes the hummingbirds cop an attitude, but that's what happens.
Okay. Well, this angry person frequently travels down the tree and is sometimes seen falling really slowly.
Yeah, we do that sometimes.
No. You're in. Wait a minute. This is a humanoid person that I'm looking for.
Oh, what?
Has the general composition of some being like me.
We don't. I mean, have you talked to her? He says, gesturing towards the Tamawa, because she's the closest thing to being like you.
Yeah. She mentioned that. Okay, so you know the Tamawo. Do you know the person who trades with the Tamawo for like food?
Yeah, lots of us.
Cool.
Sometimes we fly by, she throws rice at us, and we eat it. It's great.
Actually, how big is this eagle?
This eagle is like the size of a carabao.
So rideable.
I want to point out that much like how the definition of edible isn't just can it fit in your mouth and can you swallow it, Rival does not mean that yes, I can technically be on its back and it can technically support my weight.
Okay. Cool.
I want you to know that y'all give me some very like hackle raising reactions to whenever y'all say writable at this point.
Would it take the hobbits to Isengard?
I'm going to ignore you now.
Okay.
Pilar, what do you do?
I'd like to make an insight check on this eagle because this eagle is speaking as though like it has no concept of other types of beings.
Roll an insight, please.
And I don't know if it's a miscommunication between my own brain and what you're
Sure.
telling me.
Sure. Please roll.
22.
This bird whose intelligence is technically around the same level as that of a dog, is interpreting people as other birds are people. So when you point out like the Tamawo, it thinks spirit, right? When you say humanoid, it doesn't know that term. It knows birds.
Okay. Cool.
So when you say you're just looking for an angry person, it knows a lot of angry eagles.
Cool.
It's unsure why you want to speak to an angry female eagle, but people are weird.
I suppose. Okay, let me start over. I'm looking for, me and my companions, I suppose, are looking for a creature that looks very similar to me and to the Tamawo, like the same kind of like arm and leg composition. You got it? Like, I don't have wings. The person I'm looking for doesn't have wings.
Oh! Okay. You could have started with that.
I'm sorry. Where are they, if you know where they are?
Well, there's some ants down below. Do you want to talk to an ant?
Maybe.
They get real big. But is the person you're looking for like kind of squishy like y'all?
Yeah, squishy like me.
Okay. No wings, squishy. All right. Yeah, I know a few people. Yeah.
Okay, I'm afraid, but okay.
Do you want to go meet them?
Yeah, how are we going to get there, though?
The eagle immediately turns left and starts flying away slowly.
I can't fly.
Right. It swoops back around and flies near you. Can I grab you by the arms?
Sure.
And grabs you by the arms and starts flying away. Consent is needed!
Well, can you just fly me back down towards the Tamawo so that I can let my friends know that we're going on a journey?
The eagle flies back around towards the Tamawo's hut. Are you okay there, Mac?
Actually, I'm gonna do this because this is uncomfortable, but this is not.
Yeah, this will cause arm. You can't see my arms outstretched. This causes arm strain, but this gives you some reinforcement. And flies down. You all see Pilar just being carried aloft by an eagle.
I think this eagle knows where the angry person is, so gonna do some investigating. Be right back.
You want a bowl of food first? It's almost ready.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I'll save you some.
Okay, thank you.
The eagle looks down and looks at her and goes, "Hey, Pilar, you here? Hey." And the eagle takes off. Gaita and I, what are you doing in this Tamawo's home?
He seemed very intrigued, or rather, they seemed very intrigued about people eating salt. And so I imagine I would talk about the fact that I was the Babailon for a town that had a salt farm. I imagine I would talk about this in great depth and detail, explaining how exactly you farm salt and
So-
the many culinary purposes and medicinal purposes that salt has.
So it's like rice. Grow it.
No, not. You harvest it. It cannot be grown per se.
You harvest it, but
It comes
how?
from the water.
So you aren't farming it. You're just collecting it.
Yes, but you collect it in a very organized manner that very much resembles a farm.
So you're an organized collector
Correct.
of salt.
Yes. Well, not me personally.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Not me personally. I took care of the people who did that, but
So you're an advanced collector caretaker.
the name for that is a babailon, but yes.
A babailon
If I
takes care.
jumped off this branch, could you magically catch me?
No, I cannot do that. Are you considering that? I would like to have a conversation with you if that is the
I am
case.
considering experiments.
Perhaps we
Watch-
can wait until the eagle
watch
comes
this.
back. Wait until the.
I pull another leaf off and I throw it without puncturing any holes in it first.
The leaf it gets thrown and it takes a little while at first, but then starts gliding down, going back and forth slowly towards the water.
Is there another branch within jumping distance below us?
Define
At this
jumping distance.
As in, if I were to jump to it, I could land on it.
Yes, in the same way as you're still technically playing the game correctly in a platformer, even if you take falling damage.
But I could make it without.
Yeah, your body would land on it, sure.
But there would be no splatter. That's the important part here.
You're asking for a lot right now. The Tamal goes, is that what your kind of people do? You just
What?
take care of salt people?
No, babailons, we take care of all the people.
No, I'm not saying babailons. I'm saying babailons for your people.
No. We do many things. We build boats, and libraries, and fight and breed and learn and many things. We have whole societies.
So babailons take care of breeding and fighting and
No,
libraries?
just people do everything, right? And we
Babailons
just-
do everything.
Well, everyone does everything, and then we care for all of the people.
So everyone does everything, but babailons take care of people. Wouldn't the first thing mean that everyone takes care of everyone?
In an
the
ideal
babailon-
society, yes.
And
but,
the babailon does less than that because they
Well-
only do the one thing.
everyone specializes. No one person can do everything well.
But you just said everyone does everything.
Well, I'm generalizing. I can't say, oh, yes, well, one person over here does these 500 things, then this person over here does these 500 things. There's everybody collectively, individuals in that whole, do individual things that make up for everyone ultimately doing everything.
Oh, okay. Do your babailons ever just leave?
Well, it's happened once or twice, but in my experience, and I've been doing it for about 200 years now, no.
Oh. What if they do?
Well, I imagine we would have to find a new babailon.
What if you can't?
I feel like you're referring to something very specific. So rather than asking vague questions, why don't you tell me about the situation and I'll talk about that specific situation?
What if your babailon just leaves and doesn't come back and then you don't have a babailon anymore?
Okay. How long ago did the babailon leave?
I don't know what you mean by how long ago. I don't have a way to keep track of time.
But you understand time. You have a concept of it.
Yes, because the other person, the angry lady, explained time to me. I'm not a fan of it, but I don't have a way to track it.
How many naps ago was it?
I nap a lot.
How many naps ago was it?
I don't know. I don't keep
Live a
track of
life.
my naps.
To live a life where I could take so many naps.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the sun doesn't move.
I've
so-
only been here like 20 minutes.
I got told that 20 minutes is enough time to tell the sun is moving.
Sure. It could be. I haven't looked
The
at
food is done. You should get your friend before she throws herself off the edge too.
Gaita, would you like some food before you do whatever it is you're attempting to do right now?
I would like to know how you and Pilar both do that.
Do what?
You look at creatures and you talk to them.
Well, it's
That is a
very
magic?
simple.
The Tamalo looks at you. Can you not do that?
Oh.
No. Just like
Oh.
how there are things I'm sure we can all do that another person cannot do. But that is a thing I would like to do.
I mean, currently you're the only person here who can't talk to animals.
That's fine. I'm about to change that. Watch. Die.
Yes,
You are a Babailon.
correct.
You are a teacher.
Yes.
Teach me how to speak with an animal.
Yes. Yes. So, I'm just gonna look at Hari really quickly. You ever done this before? Someone who wasn't a Babailon. I've only ever taught Babailons.
Hari just looks at you in a panic, like,
Is there any way that you could just like, so normally, right? Like I can cast the spell through you on me. Is there a way that you could cast the spell on Gaita to help her talk to animals? No. Could you think about that very carefully and like just consider trying it?
and Hari goes,
For the first time, really? Here, right now. Wow.
the Tamalo says, looks over at you, Gaita. If you don't know what the little one said, it said, I'm not technically real. I don't want to leave you excluded. Food's done. If you want to eat before you try more of this.
Thank you, Pari.
Yeah.
Think about my offer, Die. I think I would be much more helpful if I could also speak to animals.
Would you like to become a Babaila? That is the only way I know how to
Absolutely
teach
not.
you. Then I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I mean, you couldn't anyway, so it's fine.
You said you had a Babailon here?
Yeah.
What was their name?
I don't know anymore. But they were really
So-
nice. And now they're gone.
Could just hypothetically, could they take on the form of other creatures?
No.
Why did they leave?
We don't know.
Were they also a Tamamo like yourself, or
No.
what were they?
Really nice. And then they weren't. They got really mad about something. I don't know what.
Okay,
Do you eat differently because you're a priestess?
I don't think so.
She slides a bowl over to you and just looks at you very intensely.
I ascertain if I should be taking food from this creature?
Go ahead. Go ahead and try.
Try. Okay. Ooh. It's a 7.
Seems fine. You didn't see any poison being added. You saw everything that was put into that bowl. Seems fine.
I mean, we can share a meal now.
I mean, the food's ready.
Right. I'll hold the bowl. Oh, you first. How about you show me how you eat?
Okay. She sticks a finger into the dish, and you see some amount just being removed from the entirety of the bowl. You know?
Okay, forget the experiments. This is far more interesting. And I'll take the bowl back. And I'll sort of like, is it like a soup?
It's like a stew.
Okay.
It's lugal but made with shark.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll take it and kind of like, do the little sippy sip.
Yeah, tastes fine.
See, we use our face holes.
How do you talk then?
Well, if you talk while you eat, then you oftentimes don't make it out in either situation.
What happens?
You can choke.
You can what?
It's just a-
I'll go and just smack Gaita on the back a couple of times.
It's sort of like that.
The Tamao has this look of disgust and abject horror on her face. Meanwhile, Pilar, you are sailing through the skies.
Eee.
Okay, so I don't normally talk to this person, but they're usually around. They see a lot of stuff.
Okay.
They're real good at climbing too, and
Excellent.
jumping.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the eagle flies around and lands you on this branch, and you see this like large blanketed body just breathing in and out, curled up on itself on one of the branches.
I didn't want to interrupt anybody's sleep.
Oh no, it's fine. If you don't interrupt him, he just keeps sleeping.
He?
Yeah.
All right. Will you wait here just in case this isn't the person that I'm looking for? You can take me back up.
You got it.
Oh, you're the best. I go over to this sleeping person and I poke them.
You poke them, and immediately this creature jumps 10 feet away and looks back at you. It is a medium-sized tarsier. And it looks, he goes, "You want to go?"
No.
I can go right now.
I mean, we could.
I'll leave.
Don't leave. Wait, hold on. Calm down. Calm down. If you don't calm down, you're going to die.
I am calm.
You're not calm.
I'm calm right now.
No. You're going to die.
If my heart goes down, I'll die.
No, that's not how it works. I would like to try and persuade this tarsier to slow its heart down so that it doesn't freaking explode in its chest.
Go for it.
I know what tarsiers do.
Go for it.
Sick. That's a 12.
12? Okay. What do you say?
I say, I am not going to hurt you. I don't want you to leave. I just have some questions.
Oh. Okay. What's up?
I think my eyes are matching this tarsier's eyes right now. Great. So, you aren't the person I was looking for, but maybe you can help me.
Okay.
I'm looking for. Okay, so first of all, you know what humans are, right? You know what I am?
No?
All right. Have you seen any creature on this tree that looks like me? 2 arms like this, 2 legs like this, no wings? Other than you.
Yeah.
Cool. Do they yell a lot?
Yeah.
What do they look like?
Like them?
The eagle has wings. I'm looking for no wings.
Well, she sometimes has wings.
All right, where can I find her?
Up top.
All the way up top?
All the way up top, yeah.
All right. You've been really helpful.
Okay.
You can go back to sleep now.
And collapses where it was standing.
Sick. All right, eagle friend. I need to go all the way up top. Pretty please.
All right. May I grab your arms?
You may.
Flies up, grabs your arms. Consent is needed! And flies up.
I love this consent eagle. Wow.
And it flies up. And as you fly up farther and farther up, you just see different fruits blossoming on this tree. That this kind of tree doesn't actually have fruits typically.
Mm-hmm.
You fly, you just see bits of shards of metal around here. You see old scorch marks covering vast amounts of bark and tree, and eventually you see a large nest up above.
How big is nest?
Larger than your hometown.
Great.
Larger than you suspect. The Bay of Tuluna.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been empty for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna are we doing like a flyby right now?
You're flying up to it still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a person that lives near here, but she doesn't really stay on unless she's yelling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The eagle flies you higher and higher, and on a branch just below the actual nest itself, you see this large hut. It has a massive roof made from about 3 or 4 leaves.
Mm-hmm.
It has wood panels on the side, and there is this kind of fence posted kind of territory around it, made out of what look to be huge metal chunks. And as you get closer, you realize these are just shards of feather that have pierced through the wood.
Oh, fun.
They appear almost metallic with a sheen, very softly golden. As you fly closer and closer towards it, you can see different, you want to say trophies around it. And there are 2 skulls, one on each side of the door frame.
Neat. What kind of skulls?
They look humanoid.
Neat.
But
all right.
The eagle lands, and if I knew you wanted to talk to this person, we could have gone here right away.
Well, again, this is my first time here, and we seem to have a little bit of miscommunication. So who is this?
You said people, and I know people.
Okay, well, who is this to you then? What
Lacan.
is it? I didn't have is that a name?
It's a name.
I didn't have a name.
You didn't. Listen, you not knowing a name is not my problem. You asked for people. I gave you people.
You did. And, we got there in the end.
Yeah, we did.
Sick.
And it's not about the destination. It's the journey that you go along the way.
Yes, the real people were the eagles that I consented to let fly me around this tree.
What?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
What do you do?
I would like to approach this place very carefully.
You start walking towards it.
Do I see any
And-
traps?
You don't see any traps, but as you start approaching it, you have felt the presence of this tree the entire time you've been here. And it is here at this hut that you feel a kind of interruption of that.
Is it just nothing, or is it like...
It's distinctively different.
Okay.
Something here smells of death, but not in the violent sort of way that one might expect of a war zone, but in just a kind of peace found in solitude. As you start approaching, you hear that you go, "Oh, hey, I gotta go. I'm gonna back up a few 100 meters, but you just yell if you need me, okay?"
All right.
You hear a flapping of wings, and you hear this grunting, this just thud. Ugh. Ah. And you turn back, and you see an axe with this kind of golden sheen to it spike onto the top of a branch, and you see a woman wearing this large feather cape climb up, dragging behind her a huge-sized shark with different cartilagen spikes coming out of it.
Oh. That's cool.
She looks at you and says,
What business do you have in the Eyrie?
I'm here with two other people who were transported here, and we need to know how to get back if we can.
How did you get here?
A really old-looking woman sort of teleported us here.
By choice or unwilling?
Unwilling.
Why?
We were fighting them, but we've been fighting them for a while. The lady was new. Me and my companions have been chasing a Tamawo that has been wreaking havoc across the islands.
I haul the shark up like onto a platform, and then I'm gonna get up close to Pilar and just sort of raise the axe a little bit. Sort of threateningly, but more in a defensive, like don't try anything. So you're not here by choice. You were brought here by someone.
Yes.
Do you know where you are?
Yes.
Do you have any spellcasters with you?
Yes.
Cool, that's your only way home.
Cool. I guess I'll have to find out if Dai knows how to get us home then. All right. That's a cool cape.
Thanks. Well, normally I don't get this far with people, so this is a little weird.
Same?
Cool.
Cool. I'm Pilar.
Good to know.
The eagle gave me your name, but just in case you didn't want me to have it, I'll forget it.
I'm the Lacan. You're in my domain. What did the old woman who sent you here look like?
Paladin, what did the old woman who sent us here look like?
you never got a good look at her. She had a veil
Like
over her
really-
face.
Yeah, okay. I didn't get a really good look at her. I was too busy fighting the Tamawo, and I think what I saw of her, she had a veil on her head.
Does that match a description I am aware of, Paladin?
No, that does not match the description of someone you killed a year or two ago.
Repeat that one more time.
It does not match a description of who you might be thinking of.
No, I just meant in general, if, like it matches like the traditional wear of, people who might serve the eagle.
No.
Okay. You have any idea why she sent you here specifically, or was it random chance?
Did I hear her say, I remember she said a line that was something like, get ready to meet Minukawa or something like that. Did I hear that?
Yes.
Okay. No, she very specifically sent us here.
And she must be sorely misinformed. There hasn't been anything major here in a while. Time is weird.
Okay. But we've been fighting this Tamawa. We've been chasing this Tamawa for the better part of a couple of months. And this is the first time that we've seen this lady or creature or whatever with it.
Look, if you're chasing something across the islands, you are far off course.
Yeah, I figured that.
People don't usually come beyond the edge of the world.
Not something we were intending to do.
Good.
Do you want to be here?
You said you came with others.
Yeah, they're
A
further down.
spellcaster?
A spellcaster and a not spellcaster.
A friendly spellcaster.
Yeah, he's a Babylon.
Not tied to any celestial leaders.
No.
Will not try to kill me.
No.
The 2 on my insight.
It checks out.
I realized how I said that no, and I was like, no, he's definitely not going to kill you, but like you're asking a lot of weird questions, but I also understand.
1 second. Drag the shark into my hut. Come out with my bunang and a single slung over my shoulder. All right. Take me to them.
Okay. I turn around and, well, do you have a faster way of getting down this tree?
Jumping.
Just jumping?
Sometimes I slide down the vines. I've gotten used to it. I can climb pretty fast now.
Got it. I mean, clearly you're still alive, so when you jump, you have a safe way to land?
Yes. Right. You probably don't. We can take the long way down.
I mean, I guess it's not that long. I came up by eagle.
2 things. 1, that eagle is still in the branches farther away. 2, the idea of Lacan sliding down a bunch of vines had Phil Collins' voice up to my head yelling, "Son of man, look to the sky."
That is 100% what I was going for. Thank you.
I mean, you can take your way and I'll get the eagle.
Cool. You got the eagle to just fly you?
I asked.
Okay.
Can I make an insight check on the look on the Lacan's face? I'm gonna do that. Oh man, that's a 27.
What does that look for, Lacan?
It is a look of you talked to the eagle and you were friendly to it and it was friendly to you. It is a look of someone very much like recalling there are other ways to interact with things that don't sometimes end in danger and violence. And just going, oh, yeah, that's a thing people can do. Haven't seen that in a while.
Friendship. What's that?
Weird.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to just kind of follow us down.
Are they with the
They're with the Tamawo.
They're with the Tamawo. Ooh, they're with the Tamawo.
we can just not talk to the Tamawo. We can.
No, it's fine. I'm used to them. I just don't know how your friends are going to be holding up. Anyways, I grab a vine, wrap them around my waist, and then just start rappelling down.
Cool. I run back to the eagle and I cast Speak with Animals again, and I say, "Would you be so kind as to take me back down to my friends?"
Hey, yeah. Thank you for saying please.
Yeah, and you have consent to grab my arms.
All right, I was going to ask. Thank you for being ahead of me.
I'm
Flies
just gonna
up.
give you like as long as we're here and I would like to get places, if you consent to continuously taking me places, you kind of have blanket consent to grab my arms.
Sure, I'm going to worry about you if I don't have you in my field of vision.
Excellent.
Flies around and flies behind you and grabs you by the arms. Looks over at you, Lacan. Am I flying them too?
No. I mean,
Lacan's dropping already. Lacan's going down.
right.
I can only imagine just Lacan staring straight ahead, arms at side.
Hey, that's just the same sound that leaf made earlier.
No. Earlier was. This is.
Mhm.
It's like a faster leaf.
Yes.
No,
I am
think-
a faster leaf.
People fall like fast leaves.
I am confident in the Lacan's abilities to get down safely, but we kind of need to stay within eyesight so that they know where we're going. But they know that my friends are with the Tamawo.
All right. And Eagle just flies down. Look, Lacan, you see where the eagle is taking this woman.
Okay.
You're kind of able to kind of like push against the tree in the exact right way to land where you need to land. You know how to get down.
I
You
know
your
what this
shortcuts.
Tamalo is, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how you can like shortcut in your mind your body do certain actions so you don't have to think about them. It's the exact same thing. Dai and Gaita, the Tamala still looks fucking horrified, by the way, after learning what choking is.
And now imagine if you accidentally did that like once a day, just on accident.
Or you didn't cough it up.
Hey, well, if you don't cough it up, you die. So I recommend coughing it up.
Why do you do that?
It's not intentional. It's an accident. I just said that.
But
Well,
why?
that one time was intentional. I did do
Well,
that on purpose
I-
to show it to you.
Frankly, I was a little surprised that you did it intentionally. That's just a strange thing to do, but whatever.
I just. Why would you do that?
You asked.
I didn't ask for a demonstration.
Oh, is I going to explain it to you? I feel like that was much faster. You got the point easily.
I guess.
This is what
This
it's
is
like to
just
be
like-
mortal.
Do I just take? I'm normal.
I said mortal.
What's mortal?
You know, you can die and stuff.
What?
You
Like
know
when you
the
get eaten?
sharks? Sure, kind of.
All right, so you are mortal means you are. Wait, that's like everything. You're alive until you get eaten.
Well, I mean, kind of.
Why is there a
Aren't
special
we all?
word for it?
It just means that you can be killed and then eaten.
Everything can
Hypothetically,
be killed and eaten.
including you.
Yeah. Don't eat me.
Only if you agree not to eat us.
If you eat me, I'm going to choke you.
How will you know?
I'll find a way.
I disagree.
I could teach you that as well if you'd like.
Please.
You're
no.
scary.
I'm not scary. You're asking questions and learning things, and I am teaching you.
You choke yourself to. That's not okay. I don't.
No, she scares me too.
Where did the other one go, by the way?
No, I don't know. Flew around on an eagle
What? When did that happen?
a while ago.
I was cooking. Why did no one tell me?
Well, you weren't cooking. I didn't want to distract you.
It's Luca. What is there to? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We were
Just-
talking. We were talking
It's
about
okay.
salt
It's okay.
We were talking about things.
I just like to be included, okay?
She flew on the eagle up, presumably, to go find the angry person.
Like on the eagle?
Well, the eagle was carrying her.
Okay, because like she's carryable, but not like the eagle isn't really rideable if you're like this, you're as large as y'all are. You could ride the eagle, but not.
Oh, I could ride most creatures. I'm very small.
Yes, you are. Please don't choke.
I will try not to. Thank you.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of vomiting?
Gaita.
What?
This is
What?
not while we're eating.
Right after is when it normally happens anyway.
No. Don't demonstrate that today.
Should I not learn what vomiting is?
It is unpleasant.
It is equally horrifying as choking.
Nothing is more horrifying than choking.
I could prove a point
Gaita.
here.
Gaita. Not today. Not today.
You can talk to Hari, right? The little.
Yes.
If I were to ask him a question, you could translate.
Yes.
I changed my mind, Dai. I think we can stay here for a good amount of time, so I can ask Hari questions.
What do you want to know from Hari? I could talk to Hari too.
Yes, but would you honestly tell the truth, Hari, if I asked you a question about Dai and he translated?
It speaks for itself.
Hari?
Huh? Sorry, I wasn't listening. What?
That's okay. I will show you vomiting. Give me a moment.
Gaita, no.
As you go to start the demonstration, you hear there's a large gust of wind as large flapping wings approach.
Thank God.
Please save us from Gaita's impulsiveness.
Look, Latia is all about this.
And Pilar is dropped next to all of you, and a large eagle just kind of lands nearby, just kind of looking at all of you.
I make a superhero landing.
The eagle looks at you guys and does as much as it can, just this face.
What's that face
Birds
for?
know all about vomiting.
Like, do I come back to Gaita actively trying to make herself?
No, I would not let her actively try to induce vomiting before we've eaten. Or during eating, or after eating. I do not recommend it, period.
As you're going back and forth, another figure lands nearby.
You know, I was much more concerned coming down here, and that's the first thing I hear. These are your friends?
Yes. I don't know what's going on either.
The Tamales picks up. Hi! How are you?
Same as always. Buddy, how are you?
I'm good. I learned what choking is.
Did you learn because someone demonstrated it on you, or someone else demonstrated it?
The second one. Please don't choke.
Noted. I
look
wasn't
at-
planning.
Also, what do you mean someone demonstrated on me?
You can... Well, there are other ways of choking other than on things that are eaten, but...
Like what?
I'm not going to show you because I want to keep you alive.
Daita Guy?
What?
The Tamale looks at you, Gaita. What does she mean by that? What? How do you... You can... there are other ways to choke?
I mean, I could show you, but I feel like you don't want to know.
Use words this time.
So, essentially,
Yeah, I just walk over and grab the Tamale by the throat.
I don't like that!
I let the Tamale go. There you go, you've learned.
That's
This one.
horrible. People do that?
Not normally to people they like.
But regular.
You do like me.
I like you not by choice. You're literally the only person here.
No.
You're the
Pointing
only
at the
person
eagle.
I can't talk to them.
I've tried teaching you.
I am not a person who can use magic.
You don't gotta use magic to talk to animals. If you use magic to understand what they're saying,
That's what I meant.
then mean what you say. We've gone over this. Please imagine Lacan dealing with this person for years.
I am. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
Yes.
Gaita Da'ai, this is the Lacan.
That's a title.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Well, that's what the eagle said.
Yeah, well, he's an eagle.
So, if Lacan is a title, what's your name?
Are you gonna stay long enough here to use it?
I don't know. What?
We'll see then.
No, okay.
Look, most people who come here either come willingly and get sent to the Black River, or come unwillingly and get sent to the Black River.
Is there another alternative?
Not one that I have found yet.
What about you?
Lucky chance, I guess.
Did you come here willingly or not willingly?
Former. Came here willingly, stayed here unwillingly.
Well, that would presume.
Well, really.
This feels tense.
Everything with me is tense, Pari. We've been over this.
No, not everything.
I'm gonna have food.
Oh, yes, I saved you a bowl.
Tom looks at you. Don't choke, please. It's terrible. I don't know if you've ever choked before, but I've seen it and been subject to it today, and I've learned so much, and I don't want you to choke.
I'm so proud of you, Pari.
Thank you. I'm proud of you as well.
Glad we're on the same page.
What's a page?
I make really confused eye contact with both Da'ai and Gaita as I start to eat this luga.
Just smile.
Look, I can't talk to animals, all right? And there is only so much of a chance of me jumping off of this tree and landing and not dying, so I must entertain myself.
You know what? That's fair. I respect
it is.
that.
It is fair.
You get real bored here after a while.
No, I'm fine.
You are.
I thought your
this
name was
tree.
Pari.
It is. I was being descriptive.
Ah.
So,
So you
in
know
bet-
some things.
I know a lot of things.
You see
No
the
one joking.
Lacan. You see the Lacan make a face of he really doesn't. They really don't. I don't say that, but it is the face that I make.
In between mouthfuls of luga, Pilar says, so the Lacan has informed me that we need magic to get off of this tree
Mm-hmm.
willingly.
We don't need much to get off the tree. You can just jump off.
To get out away from here. To go
Leave
back
the
to where
iron,
we were.
Pari.
To leave the Eyrie.
Sometimes I see boats down below.
Big boats?
Yeah, real big boats. Sometimes they appear and they go away. They keep coming back and forth.
Yeah, sometimes they come and then they leave empty. We've gone over this one.
I keep telling you, I see people on there.
And I keep telling you, I know why they're here, and that's why they don't leave.
Are we above the Black River?
No.
Cool. I just had a really frightening thought. That's all.
No, we're like outside. We're sort of behind it.
Yeah. sending things to the Black River here is more of a form of speech than a literal thing.
Okay.
No, I mean like sometimes they're like big rings, and then they boats go through them, and then make other rings, and then they leave again.
That would
part,
be magic, yeah.
that part I understand, and I think that our little friend may have been the reason behind the boats and the rings and the appearing and the disappearing.
Oh.
You can nap, Buddy. I've got it from here.
No, it's okay. It's exciting. I made new friends, and I learned what choking is.
A very good day. I
Yeah.
would consider it a good day.
I now have 5 friends.
Who's the 5th one?
Don't be rude to Hari.
Don't be rude to Hari. No, point at Hari.
You're a Babaylan.
But yeah.
Yes, this is the Babylon.
Pari whisper shouts, "Don't worry, I'm working them over so we have a new Babylon for the tree. It's okay."
I don't know if he would want to be the Babaylan of here. He probably has his own city.
No, he left.
Looks over at Dai, looks back over at Party. Well, clearly.
If I hear that, technically I'm retired.
See, he's retired.
You don't look sweaty.
Well, not right now. I mean, we were in combat, though. That was very sweaty.
Party, for reference, retired means left usual post. It would be as if you left the tree. You would be retired.
Where would I go?
I don't know.
That doesn't
It's
even make
like,
any
yeah.
sense. Okay, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, it'd be if you left your one purpose in your job in life and then went off to figure out something else to do.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's been very fun.
You are beyond the edge of the world. I fail to see how this is fun.
Well, this particular stop, less so. But we visited all the islands, well, almost all the islands. We've gotten to try some new food. We've gotten to meet some interesting people. We
started a
almost
zoo?
died. We started a zoo.
What's a zoo?
It's a large collection of animals. Or
An
in our
What's an
case,
island?
An intentional collection of animals who are not native to their area, Furry. It would be as if I brought animals that didn't live on the Eyrie to the Eyrie, then we would have a zoo.
What animals don't live on the Eyrie?
So many.
And don't bring up the islands, okay? Those don't exist. Okay?
I'm aware.
Oh, I see you're confused, Pilar. Like the Lacan keeps talking about islands.
yeah, where we came from.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to pretend for her sake.
No, we have a boat, and we sailed from island to island.
I didn't see a boat down there. It's okay.
Well, sure, we were teleported away from the boat.
And our animals.
Teleported.
So, do you actually do you know any teleportation magic?
No, not at all.
Well,
So you don't have a way to open a gateway back to the islands.
Ha! No, that's not a thing that Babylons do.
Besides, you don't need teleport. You need plane shift.
What's that?
Oh, it's where you connect 2 points of different worlds together very briefly, and that contact creates a kind of opening in both.
Oh, could you show me how to do it?
I'm not sure where in this conversation you thought that I could do that.
But you know it exists, so you must know how to do it, right?
Yeah. No.
Do it.
I'm really sorry. You're being very optimistic right now, but solid no.
You see the Lakan in the background very angrily swing the butt of the Bunang into the tree. Right.
You said that boats often appear here.
Yeah.
What do they do when they're here?
They make people move again, and they spend some time shouting down below and partying, I think, and then they leave.
Well, they used to leave, not anymore.
Yeah, sometimes they stay. I'm not sure how long this current one is going to stay here, but it's here. And
There's a boat down there?
There's a boat down there?
yeah, like 10 minutes ago it appeared.
Why didn't you lead with that one, Party?
It wasn't brought up.
You know every time there's a boat, I have to go check it out.
I was having time with friends. I'm allowed to have friends outside of you, okay?
Wait, you just said it arrived like 10 minutes ago. Pari, you told time. I'm so proud of you.
I would
What
like
have you done
to.
to me?
I would like to beseech my new eagle friend.
Eagle is currently eating the remains of the Laga.
That's fine. Do you have a name, Eagle?
Oh, what?
All right. Can you get? Oh, so here's the thing. I would like to ask if you have any other eagle friends that could get us down to the bottom of the tree.
Yeah,
Can they do that for us, please?
probably.
Can you go and get them?
Yeah.
That would be really great.
Yeah.
Now,
Now what?
go get them.
Who?
Your friends.
Yeah, I have great friends.
Yes, go get them. Go get the other eagles, the ones like you, and bring them here. We need them.
Okay.
He doesn't move, does he?
Oh, wait, it's not.
Great.
You got to make a formal. You have to make one complete sentence.
Go get your other eagle friends and bring them here.
Okay.
Go get your other eagle friends and bring them here now.
Roger flies up and flies away.
Oh my god. I'm realizing this is like the first time I've seen this happen. And I'm just watching this new stranger I met caw at me eagle.
Oh, we do this all the time.
I was gonna say, this is normal for you.
Oh, yeah, and the chicken, and the binturong, and the carabao, and the shark, actually.
This is starting to sound like a nursery rhyme.
Sure is.
That was last week's ad read.
I'm so concerned, mostly because who's taking care of them while you're here?
Oh, we have people for that.
I'm
Weird.
realizing that it sounds like we're a lot more well off than we really are.
Well, it helped that we got a lot of money very early on to hire people to help with the boat. And we just haven't had to worry about it since then.
That's true.
A few beats later, 4 eagles start flying in. With the lead one being the one that you're familiar with, Clara, and he yells, "Do we have consent to lift you up?"
You have to give the eagles consent
For what?
to carry you.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna take my way down.
Okay. We have three consents. 4th eagle is clear to just kind of hang out if they want to.
3 eagles swoop in and grab you, Gaita, and you, Pilar, by the arm, start flying you down. 1 eagle just kind of looks at you awkwardly, Lacan, and just...
We've been over this, you know how I feel.
And just slowly backs away.
Good.
And just flies backwards and goes down and following the other 3.
I just start rappelling down again.
That's a very fancy term for just going down like a brick. As you are all heading down.
Thank you, Potty.
What? Where'd you all go?
Oh.
As you are all heading down, you see this massive caracoa.
Looks familiar?
it's missing one of its struts, but it's trying to balance on the water still. But you see at the top of it, two people shouting and arguing. And as you swoop down, you see Non-Talk and the Huckleban. And we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Hell yeah.
We're back in 10 minutes, folks. Go explode your water, go elongate your legs, and kill a god. See y'all in 10 minutes. Hello, and welcome. Welcome back to Tampo. Last we left off, our hero was flying in via eagle. Is there anything you all want to do as you're flying in? You have one round of preparation. I'm not going to do the pose ever.
How dare
I'm
you?
disappointed in you,
Yeah.
Paladin.
I will cast. Are we all kind of like within range of each other?
Yes, I will say yes for convenience sake.
Okay, because otherwise I would have done it before we were picked up. But I'll cast water breathing on all of us.
I wish I hadn't done that.
Well, I did it, so fight me.
I am literally about to do that. Literally
So,
about to do the exact thing. So, yeah.
We all are capable of breathing underwater.
I mean, yes, but surviving it is...
Well, now we can survive it.
we'll draft. Anywho, anybody else have any preparations?
If I'm dropping in, sort of letting gravity do a little bit of the work, I would like to holler down to the people I see on the boat. What business do you have in the Eyrie?
As you shout down, they look at the two Non-Tog, as three of you recognize him, and Lacan, you only recognize that one of them is Tamawo, and the other one is a Huckleban. The Tamawo says nothing, but the Huckleban looks at you, and you hear something shouted up, and it just says, fratricide. Do you not feel any guilt still?
Sick.
I
Can I
never felt guilt.
Could I get initiatives from everybody?
So,
Purple.
fun thing about the headhunter, I get a reaction attack on initiative.
I forgot this.
Yep.
Oh, finally.
Really?
Manalo isn't. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Manalo isn't here to steal my high initiative rolls.
Oh.
And before I forget, everybody here would have gotten the benefits of a short rest.
Oh, sick.
A short rest.
A short rest.
I'm just gonna say that puts me at. I don't know how many hit dice that's gonna be, but I'm gonna use however many to bring me back to full HP.
Okay.
Also, before we land or get in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kind of look over to Pilar and I, and maybe we should try something else. This never really works for us.
Usually because he goes away to somewhere else, presumably here. But if he was to go somewhere else, not here, maybe we could tag along.
We could tag along. Maybe we could talk.
To non-dog? Why?
Gonna give this shrug while I'm on an eagle.
Could I get your initiative starting to I?
No, 8.
Ooh, Lacan.
11, but I did roll a 25 to hit with my Astingal.
Who? Okay. Who are you trying to hit?
The one who spoke to me, Huklaban.
Okay. Yeah, that's a solid hit.
Sweet. And that also still gets my conviction die. Oh, that one is okay. Well, that's not great. That is 10 fire damage, 2 radiant damage, and 9 force damage.
Can I get the total, please?
I said 10 plus 2 is 12 plus 7 plus 9, 21.
21. Thank you very much. As you're falling, you all see as this woman takes out an Ostengal and fires off this. You're doing the fire damage one or just normal?
Fire damage.
You see as this burst of fire explodes out of the gun and strikes the Huckleberry. Could I please get initiative from you, Pilar?
20. 20.
Gaita?
14.
14. And then they got... Okay, let me just roll this real quick. Scheiße. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Pilar, you are first.
Neat. I'm gonna yeah, sure. Why not? I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike on myself just to have that going.
Okay.
And I do believe, yeah. So I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike on myself, and I'm going to I'm gonna say out loud, Rivalry, do you think you can hold on to that for me, please?
In your head, you hear, yes.
Thank you. And then I'm just gonna use all of whatever I will beseech my eagle to use its full movement to get me down there.
Okay, you are easily down there already. You are on the boat.
Cool. I will just land on the boat then.
Okay. Is Zephyr Strike an action?
It's a bonus action.
Okay. Do you do anything with your action?
I'm going to. So this is the middle boat, which means it's the boat without the one strut on the side. How structurally damaged does this boat look otherwise?
Damaged. After you had gone, apparently more damage had been struck to it. So it's floating, but not by much.
Okay.
But there is Nontog and the Hucklebot in front of you.
And then so we got the benefits of a short rest, so it hasn't been too long. How does Nontog look?
Nontog still looks beaten up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use my action to talk to him.
Okay.
I say, so you tried to put us away and that didn't work. Here we are. We're not going to stop chasing you. So you don't, I don't think you want to die.
Nontog looks at you and scowls and says something back.
Nothing?
Nothing. Not his turn.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
That brings us to Gaita. What do you do? The eagle will land before the end of your turn, so you'll still have your movement and action, all that kind of stuff. But what do you want to do?
I'm going to also land.
Okay.
And then once I do, I'm gonna look like I'm going to reach for my sword, and then I'll stop. I'll look at Nontog in his eyes and just, we've been doing this for a while. I want you to explain it to me. And if it has to be just the two of us, then go ahead. And I'll hold my hand out.
Could I get a persuasion check at advantage?
Ooh, that's better. 16.
16? Okay,
Mhm.
give me one moment. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Non-Tog looks at the two of you. And let me just pull something up right quick. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, Elmo's World. Ba-da-ba-da-da. I always forget to pull the spell up ahead of time. Sorry, just one moment. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Non-Tog with one hand starts spinning threads of magic into itself. And you've never seen Non-Tog actually formally spell cast. You've seen him producing spell effects and actually full on casting a spell. But you see him forming one spell in his left hand and forming a different spell with his right hand.
I think it's illegal.
And with his left hand, he fires off, and this fountain of lava bursts from the ground, hitting both you, Pilar, and you, Gaita. Could both of you please roll me a dexterity saving throw?
$23.
23, okay.
This would proc my danger sense. Just want to make sure.
Yes, because you can see it happening.
Then that is a 21.
When you both pass, you are each going to take half. Oh, you're going to take 6 points of fire damage. This is already halved as Non-Tog casts Lava Plume. And with his other hand, let's see here. God, where did I put that spell?
Nowhere. You lost it. It's gone now.
No, I didn't lose it. Don't you try and do stuff to me. There we go. He releases it, and more fire erupts from his hand, but goes over him, and you see this shell of molten magma and rock cover him. And he says to the two of you, I could try for 1,000 years, and neither of you would see it. And that brings us to Lacan. Your turn.
I literally just took a bite. How dare you?
Yep. Hello. I have a talent for fast food service.
Cool. I land on the boat, correct?
Yes. Do
I recognize the Hooklabun?
You're asking if you recognize it?
Yes.
You do, only for the fact that you've seen them pop up here and there, but you haven't been able to get up close yet.
All right. Cool. Because they clearly knew a little bit about me.
Yeah?
All right, cool. Not fond of that. I am going to land on the boat. I'm going to take 2 swings at the Hooklabun.
Okay.
With Falcon Reaver. That is a 26 to hit.
26 hits.
When you become the Lacan, your dice become better.
That is 8 slashing.
Okay.
And 10 force damage.
Okay.
And then attack with the butt end of the Falcon Reaver.
Okay. Can you give me the total damage for all this? After you roll?
10, 8, 18 damage. That last one I don't think hits, so that's a 14.
That's a miss. So 18 total.
Okay. 18 total, yep.
Okay. Anything else with your turn?
I'm going to look at her and just go, the eagle isn't here. If that is what you are here for, leave.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yes.
I.
Just gotta look at Pilar and Gaita. Are we doing this? You wanted to talk.
I did not get the memo to talk, for the record.
That's fine. Do what you want, Die.
Cool, awesome. I cast Blight on Non-Tug.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So, like Eagle drops me off. I do like the very like not nimble acrobatic, capable of like. I'm not like a cool looking person, so like I do like the not acrobatic version of a superhero pose, and then I stand up and I look at Harry and I point at Non-Tug and I go, "Well, what do you say we get this guy?" And we go and cast Blight. I would like the target to make a Constitution saving throw, and I'm going to use some Spirit dice on this.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. All right.
That's cocked. So it's Constitution saving throw, DC 24.
DC 24.
Yes.
I don't make that.
Excellent. Very good. Give me a moment to assemble and roll some dice. 1, 2, 3. I borrowed 2 d8s.
Yes, you
How do
may.
you spell Huckleban?
Hukluban.
Okay. So I'll go 10, 20. That is 29 points of necrotic damage to Non-Dog.
What does that multiply by 1.5?
So half of 29 is 14. So 29 plus 14 is 43.
Thank you.
Thank you, math.
You cast Blight and you tear away pieces of armor and skin straight off of Non-Tug. Underneath the skin, there's no blood. There is nothing.
It's the fastest I've ever done math in my life.
Impressive.
Isn't it really terrible how we can do math for games just fine, but like back in like any form of schooling or serious stuff, we're just like 2 and 4,
Wait,
and then a single tear.
Exactly.
you can do math good while playing D&D? What?
I'm so sorry.
It's special interest math, so it works better.
Mm-hmm. Like I failed algebra 2 in high school, but I can do calculus for Warframe. That brings us to the Huckleban. She looks at you, Lacan, and says, "We weren't here for you or your parents, little girl. But if you need a guiding hand, I can give that to you." And Lacan, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Does this happen to be against being charmed or frightened?
No.
Okay, cool.
Though it is alarming.
Yeah, I was wondering. It is frightening, but it is not. That's cocked. Okay. Well, it could be worse. It's an 18.
It's an 18. Okay. You do not pass this, so please excuse me while I roll some dice.
Cool. Cool. Trying to see if I've got
do you have
anything
any-
I can do.
Do you have any form of resistances?
Currently, I have resistance to. I have sturdy remembrance, so I get to choose a resistance after a long rest. I mean, after a short rest. I randomly picked fire before this session because I didn't know what else.
You picked fire?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. Please take 44 points of necrotic damage.
No.
As the same spell that Da'aya cast is now cast upon you.
That's gross.
Ow. Sucks. I have too many hit points to do math quick. Okay, not bad. Actually, I'm still doing okay.
After she casts her spell, she looks at you. We don't want you here. You shouldn't be here. So I offer you this. Leave now. And I won't bother Hinahan.
It's not my turn. I can't say anything.
I
and
know
even
it's
if
not.
I could, I wouldn't.
That brings us to Pilar.
That's rude as fuck.
Pilar, what do you do?
Well, I heard the Hucklebon say this, right?
Yeah.
Cool. There's a moment where Pilar looks between the Hucklebon and the Lacan, and those puzzle pieces start to slide into place. And yeah, we're gonna go you're gonna go stab the Hucklebon now.
Go for it.
Da 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 da. All right, first attack is a 26 to hit.
Hits.
Nice. I'm gonna switch. Yeah, she's gonna become my favorite foe now. Gotta get all the dice. There's so many. That's 15 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I'll attack her again.
Go for it.
I don't know what. Oh, it's a 9. Okay. A 17.
That's a hit.
Heck yeah. Oh, it's better. 6, 12, 15, 17, 22 points of piercing damage for a grand total of 37. And like as I pull rivalry out of her, I'm like, you leave Hinahan alone.
Okay, give me 1 second here. As you run the Hucklebon through, you hear a laugh. And you hear, good job. Did you not think it strange? I did not obliterate you immediately? She bursts into just a cloud of rotted flowers and vines and leaves. And you see the ring beyond the boat start to spin faster and faster. And beyond it, you see a dozen other rings appear. Nontog looks behind him. And you hear, and Pilar, you hear the bearish whisper of, no. And the ship gets sucked into the portal. And you are speeding through the ocean at an unholy speed.
Whee!
Could I get a dexterity saving throw from everybody?
16.
This is not charmed or frightened, Mackenzie.
Please.
15 for me.
15?
17 for the Lacan.
Okay.
2.
19.
It was a natural 1 for a 2.
19. Okay. I'm gonna say, Lakan, you're next to die.
Cool.
Do you want to try and grab him?
Yes, I will grab this tiny old man.
Please roll me an acrobatics check.
Can it be athletics?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, you know what? It could have been worse. That's a 16.
16. You manage to grab him and get you both secured as all of you are shunted forward at incredible speeds. And as you're moving so fast, you're kind of bouncing off the surface of the water. You go through another portal and find yourself kind of hurling through what appears to be an underground magma cavern. You all take 7 points of fire damage.
I'm resistant.
Son of a bitch.
Good job, Lacan.
Do you round up or down for half damage?
Half. I'll rerun down.
Okay, so
I almost said round half, and that would have been unhelpful.
Round half, Paladin.
You know, round half.
Not a sharp half, a round half. And that is going to be that. And that will make it. Anything to do else on your turn, Pilar?
No, except maybe, are we still moving?
You're still moving.
Cool. Well, I can't really brace myself because I used my action to stab the Hucklebon, so I'm gonna pray.
You're just gonna pray?
Yeah.
Okay. That is gonna bring us to Gaita, your turn.
All right. I am going to pull out my sword. Bonus action rage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attempt to grab Nontog and grapple them.
Okay. Go for it.
That, unfortunately, wait. Well, it's a little bit better because I was reading it upside down. 15.
15?
Yeah.
15 does not succeed.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna stand near them.
Okay. That brings us to Lacan. What do you do?
Is Huklaban dead?
Okaban is no longer here.
Okay, cool. Well, there's one other person on this boat who has been antagonistic towards the people who I guess are my friends. I will shoot a very suspicious glance over at Pilar and then spin around and just ram ram Falcon Reaper into Nontog.
Okay, you close the distance. Please roll the hit.
That is a 21.
21 hits.
Wish I want to roll my exploding dice. 7 plus 10, that's 17 total for the first hit.
17 total? Okay.
Yep. How's he looking?
He is still up.
Cool. I'm going to use my Guardian Memory attack again.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
All right. Describe the hit.
Swing once, and there is that sort of almost like echoes of starlight rip off of Falcon Reaper as I rip it towards him, and as my eyes sort of flash, the black sclera and the silver of my irises almost glow in the dark of this magma cavern as I flip the axe around and I swing upward again, catching him right in the jaw. So, quick question, Paladin.
Yeah.
You do max plus dice for crits, correct?
Yes.
How does that work with exploding dice?
The effect is not subject to exploding to the critical rules that we use.
Cool. That's fine.
I'm going to ask you this question.
Yes.
Any damage you roll, is it going to be more than one?
Yes.
Then it's dead.
Okay.
You rip upwards and you slice through this Tamao's face. And for a moment, it stands there upright, and the skin begins to peel, and the armor begins to just tick off piece by piece as if it's rotting away rapidly fast. And I need to ask, Dai and Gaita, please roll me one skill check each of the best skill you have. One skill
Okay.
check each of the best skill you have.
Uh, 29 history.
29 history, okay.
I just rolled a natural 20
I also got
For-
a natural 20.
for a total of 26 in athletics.
Okay. There is a briefest of flashes, and Gaita, you find yourself standing at the banks of the Black River, and you are right next to her. In front of you is this Tamao sitting on the banks of the grass next to the river, sobbing.
I will walk up and sit next to them.
I'll stand nearby. I'm probably still at eye level.
We never even learned your name.
I never needed one. Every day it was just me and her, and it was good. I never needed a name.
What is the purpose of all of this?
I don't know. Something took me, and I couldn't get back home, and I didn't have her, and I didn't have the eagles or the hummingbirds or the fish on the water anymore. There were too many trees, and none of them were mine. And I couldn't get back to her. I felt it in my skin, warming its way through at first. And I thought, I'll get back. I'll get back to her. And then it did more, and I could do less. And I just watched as I hurt you and your friends. And it would take me to the tree, and I could tell she was there. And I couldn't even scream. I could do nothing but watch. I'm sorry.
Would you like me to relay a message? If I can?
Please.
Tell me what it is.
I still love her. I'm always going to love her. I always have. And I'll see her if she ever passes on too.
Sort of reach out a hand, place it on their back. this thing that has taken you, that has caused so much pain. Can you tell me anything of it?
It finds you when you're weakest. When there's no one tethered to you. When you can't go to your friends or your loved ones, it finds you. And it tells you all these things of how things are going to get better. And then it takes you. It took my dreams, and then my sleep. And it wasn't enough. And then it took my magic and my love. And then my body. And I had nothing left. I was nothing.
You know, I wanted you to tell me. I wanted you to explain it while you were still there. Because I know what it did to my husband. And I could only think, if it tried to make a man so good to nothing, then it could not have just been you. And in truth, you are not nothing. You have still come here to the river. And all that time, your soul knew where it belonged. You kept that message that I will deliver for you, with you. It cannot take everything.
You don't get it. It was just my body there. It was just my eyes there. It was there, not me. It's still there. It couldn't take your husband the normal way. Your husband always had hope that you'd get to him. He always trusted you'd get to him, and that's why we couldn't. That's why I couldn't break him. Does this mean I didn't love her enough?
No.
Did I not love her the right way?
No. I think you keeping her memory and knowing that is enough. There is no amount of what you fell victim to that would ever be enough to take that from you and her. We don't know everything about this thing. It might have just been that you were there longer, or who knows?
I will walk over. As I walk over, just kind of everything leading up to this moment, can I make a very quick insight check just to see how much I am believing this as I approach?
Can you make me a religion check?
Religion check. Oh, that's okay. Give me a second. Yeah, 22.
22. You know that here you can't lie.
As I approach, Gaita's kind of already got a hand on the Tamamo, and so I'll kind of step up and maybe honestly probably place a hand on Gaita's shoulder nearby as I'm kind of standing there next to her, and I'll just say, don't blame yourself for what something else has done to you. That is not your fault. And you cannot be held responsible for the actions of another.
Okay. Can you help me into the water? Please?
I believe we can.
Of course.
You guide him by the hand into the water, and you set him so that he is back on his back on the river surface. As he lets go of your hand, Gaita, you can now cast Spiritual Spear at will. You will use your strength modifier for the spell. As he lets go of your hand, you learn something. You don't have a name for it, but the feel of it in your hand and in your mind feels like holding someone's hand. And you watch as this Tamawo floats down the Black River. As this is going on, Lacan and Pilar, as the skin fades away and as the armor is bitten off piece by piece, withering away, the figure in front of you is only discernible by how the wind is buffing against it, creating this wind shear effect. How lava spray hits it and runs down it, cooling and fading away too. As you pass out of the lava cavern, you appear in the ocean again, bursting out from underneath, and the water is silhouetting his figure. And still you are hurtling forward, and you find yourself going through another gate and in this underground cavern. And in this underground cavern where you see all kinds of sparkling rocks above and algae and moss illuminating it, this body catches starlight and appears to have stars in it. And two eyes of just harsh white light look at the two of you.
I forgive you.
It looks over at you.
Pass into the Black River. Join the others. You are no longer bound by what you have done in this life.
You are nothing but my sister's cruel joke. Quiet. And it turns to you, Pilar. Your father lied to you. Your mother is distant. You are getting there. You are not ready. but I can make you ready. Do you say anything in return, Pilar?
I don't want anything from you.
You will. You will. You may not know your mother, but I know your father. And slowly this form starts to disappear. As Gaita and I apparently snap into focus again. And the last portal you hurtle through hits the water and crashes into Minokawa's eyrie. Could you all roll me a dexterity saving throw?
I mean, I guess.
21.
21, okay. DC is 19.
13.
Gaita? You're muted.
Anyone?
Okay, who got 18 or below? As the boat slams into the tree trunks and becomes nothing but memories and splinters that fade into the sea, the four of you slam into the base of the tree. And you all will take 36 to Lacan, 18 to everyone else. As you slam into the base and roots of the tree.
So, for clarification, we're right back where we started in the Eyrie.
Yep.
Where's the lady?
Find out next week.
I hate you.
I'm looking for a veil.
Find out next week when we resume episode 19 of Tampo. Thank you all being here. My name is Paladin. I've been your DM of the evening. Let's go around and say goodbye to our players. Let's start with Mackenzie. Who are you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Diarmas, Mackenzie Lane DA on Twitter. I have been the Lacan, who is no one else, absolutely in particular. In my day job life, I am an associate game designer for Dungeons and Dragons at Wizards of the Coast. But before I worked there, I was the lead writer for the Islands of Sina Una, which we played today. Thank you so much for having me. And I will be back next week, I believe. Y'all will have me. If y'all don't want me here, I can just go back to my treehouse in the Eyrie.
No, you're staying with us now. I've adopted you. You just don't know it yet.
I think I'm older than you.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Now you toss it to someone else.
Oh, I'm supposed to do you.
Hi, my name is Josh. You can find me on the internet at Joshua M. Simons. That's my name. You can also find me on Twitch at Joshua Simons. I'm a freelance tabletop game designer, a variety streamer, and the assistant director of ambassadors at Jasper's Game Day, as well as a Take This ambassador. Yeah, this was fun for no particular reason. Latia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Latia. I'm the community relations coordinator for Monica Games. I am a occasional streamer of the variety, and I also play Dahani on Rivals of Waterdeep, which you can catch on Sunday mornings from at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, or other time zones. I'm really happy with this episode. I got to talk to eagles. Take that, Gandalf. I'm gonna pass it to Lucia.
Hi, I'm Lucia. You can find me as Seer Sword, which is my moniker and also my little business. So if you want some dice or pins that are like witchy TTRPG related, you can check out my shop at seersword.com. Otherwise, I just post random thoughts on Twitter, so you can follow me there. And I stream with Josh on his channel most Mondays, usually Mondays. It's always Mondays, but we're not there for every Monday. That's typically how it works. We make girlfriends. It's a good time.
It's a great time. Actually, that reminded me, one last thing that I want to shout out that's also associated with Lucia is that we're releasing something on the DMs Guild on Tuesday. Anyways.
Yeah, that's basically me. Also, before we forget, just want to give a quick shout out to CB, Critical Bard, or Omega Jones, who couldn't be here tonight, but we're sending all of our love. I'm sure that as soon as they rejoin us, it is going to be a doozy. Yeah, but that's me.
Why would you
Paladin.
laugh like that?
Because I try to hide how I actually laugh, so I know how to laugh like a lot of other people. Anyways, my name is Paladin. Aside from that weird tidbit, you find me on Twitter and Instagram. Don't find me on Facebook. I don't like that at all. I make TTRPG books. I don't know what to say. I just constantly make books. We're gonna go raid our good friend D&D Jordan Lee, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.